Okay, fellas, look at that.
Yes, sir.
What does that
Today.
say? What does that say? 61.
Well, that says 6166. Uh-oh, 666. Uh-oh, that's an omen. Oh, buddy.
Man, that's crazy. It's over 6,000,
6,000
and you can't.
dineros.
6,000, man. It's
Just a few weeks ago,
had a little
we were
pushback,
here.
didn't we? Had a little pushback.
Well, Mr. Jamie Dimon, of course, doing his job. He gets paid millions to do it, you know.
He did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah, he dissed it good, and that's when it went over 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a bubble. It's a bubble. It's a bubble.
Well, you guys know bad news is sometimes good news. Because that's free advertising.
Well, here's some news. You
know.
talk about news.
Yeah.
Here's some news. How about $95 billion? This was last week. You brought this in.
Bitcoin is bigger than Goldman Sachs. And I think the only other trading firm that's bigger than that is JP Morgan and I think Citigroup. So they're in there with the big boys. I mean, the real big boys.
So the market cap's going
and
crazy.
there you go.
Yeah.
And
Could you say it's 100 million?
it's at 100 million now. It's at 100. Yeah, it's at 100 million. So they've already.
Well, let's just
surpassed
take a
Goldman
look.
Sachs.
Let's just take a look at that the cryptocurrency market here. Let's see here. Okay.
Wow.
This week we just it dropped $36. It's 61.30.
Well, the kick is that last week, guys. I think it was a Friday. Bitcoin went up 10% in a day.
See, it's such a volatile
Yeah.
deal. It's so volatile. I think people are scared of it. They don't understand it. It's just something where if you don't understand something, it's like being in the jungle and somebody shows you a mirror and you're a caveman. Somebody shows you a mirror and you go,
But this is not the time to be scared. This is the time to be smart.
Yeah.
You know who's smart? Jamie Dimon. Because his company, when it was going down to 29,
Right.
his company was
They were buying it. Yep.
See, so it's not the time to be afraid. As I say, it's the time to be smart. The information is available to anyone. A 5-year-old can get this information about what cryptocurrency is, how it's going to change the way things are done. And as we said, the biggest issue also is not just the Bitcoin, but the blockchain technology that's behind it.
Now, Jamie likes that.
He loves it.
Well, they got Ripple, The banks,
all love it,
the banks have that product, which is cryptocurrency called Ripple. I heard of a new one come out, and I'm really pushing to learn something about this before I invest in it. But it is in the top 20 of the market cap we just showed.
Yeah.
It's in the top 20. I think it's 18. It's called Stellar Luminous.
Okay.
And Stellar Luminous is a direct competition with what the banks came out with a few years ago, which is Ripple. Okay, it's similar product, very similar blockchain structure, and it's going to be a competing structure.
Yeah.
Now, that's like saying, well, you're going to come up against the 300-pound, 3,000-pound gorilla in the living room, and you're not going to beat it.
You're not going to break anything.
Yeah, but because the banks have that very large Ripple investment supply. But we're going to talk a little bit about the haves and have-nots. All right, the haves and have-nots today. This cryptocurrency environment is going to open it up.
It's going to open it up for the world, actually.
Yeah, there's half the world hasn't even got a bank account.
Half the world has never seen a checkbook or walked into a bank. They don't know what that is. So, cryptocurrency opens the doors for anyone.
That's right.
To get access to do a financial transaction or to transfer value. And it's
not a fiat value because that's all controlled, and the government doesn't see any worth in those people.
That's right.
They're out in the third world, and they're not worth anything.
Right.
We don't even want to put a bank out there and invest in them.
No.
But this type of currency is inexpensive. It's very efficient.
Right.
And it can be available to the guys making weaving hats in Southeast Asia.
Anything.
They can be weaving their hats and go from a hat weaving company, all right, to weaving maybe trash cans, then weaving some rugs.
It could change an industry
because they can get some money too. They can
start exchanging value.
They
can exchange value where they weren't able to do that before, and they can do it among themselves with each other, and
without going through your centralized bank.
And then not only that, guys, through that innovation comes Business is going to come out of that. Invention is going to come out of just.
You're going to open up half the world. We're only working with we're working with one arm tied against our back.
There you go.
That's what
Basically,
we're doing.
what we're looking at is, instead of having to go through the bank, you are the bank.
Oh, they don't like that. They don't like to cut us. They're going to cut our YouTube
But think
channel.
about this: all of us doing business.
Yeah.
You a bank,
Yeah.
I'm a bank, you a bank. We're taking care of business.
We are the central bank.
Yeah, we don't need a third party
there you go.
in
Well,
between us stuff.
I came across a clip I want to share of a young man just explaining this concept we're talking about.
Yeah,
and
this
it's
is a
only
good
1
clip.
minute, so stay tuned. Just watch this 1 minute clip, and then we'll review it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go over and do that right now.
It's October 19th, 2017, and on this episode of the Crypto Coin Show, I'll be discussing an ICO solving major financial problems for the billions of people unbanked on planet Earth, the Micro Money ICO. Currently, the World Bank's Global Financial Initiative estimates there are over 2 billion adults in the world in 100 out of 196 countries that have no access to financial services. Many banks are not able to approve first loan applications for billions of people around the world due to the absence of credit scores and financial history. Micromoney is breaking this vicious cycle by lending funds to the unbanked majority of the world through proprietary blockchain-based, decentralized AI neural network scoring systems. They have a team of professionals with the capacity to work in emerging markets where established banks cannot, and through the use of smartphones and blockchains, these 2 billion unbanked people will be able to explore the new crypto economy.
All right, there we
Wow.
go. Well, we did a little shuffling in the background while that was going on. I forgot to turn off the mic, but you got me running this thing. So what are you going to get? You're gonna get
That's sobering, guys. That 2 billion people in the world have never stepped into a bank, have never filled out an application
for a loan.
Any of those kind of things. Now that doesn't negate that they got the same kind of needs that we have, but that's an opportunity, man, that you're never going to see again. That's going to change
the world.
Mm-hmm.
You got the haves and have-nots right now.
Yeah.
And this will take and give the have-nots a starting point again.
Mm-hmm.
They will have a starting point to be able to do commerce using a currency that is efficient and can cross the world.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't even have to worry about if your bank can
Well, it's
charge
all
you
blockchain verified. I mean, it's verified as they go. It's going to take 15 minutes
or less
to get
because the
it.
blockchains are getting more efficient.
Yeah, it's getting more efficient, man. So that's going to make that's competitive, man. The bank's going to have to change if they want to stay.
Well, that's why they've invested in the Ripple,
Yeah,
and
that's
that's
what
why
they're
this Stellar Luminous I was talking about. It's at 2 cents. Now, what's really cool about that? It's in the top 18. My wife and I were sitting there talking about this the other day. I'll just do it right now while we're
Go ahead and run the numbers.
I'll just run the numbers. Let's take this. Okay, let's say I bought $100 worth of Stellar Luminous, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I can take 100 and I'll just divide it by 0.02. I think it's 65 or something right now. Okay, so I can get 3,775 Stellar Luminous coins.
Got you.
Okay, for $100.
For $100.
I mean, I'm going to lose my life savings over this.
$100.
$100. Okay, it's in the top 20 of the market cap.
Right.
And just last week, IBM jumped on board with them.
There's a reason for that.
There's they're a bunch of dumb guys
There
working
you go.
there.
They did
IBM.
all the market research and research development.
Yeah, and they got
They've done
guys
all
that could, look at the
studied it for years.
Studied it. They understand it.
Yeah.
They hired a bunch of young geeks to
Look at it.
Consult them. So you got 3,773 coins. Multiply that by let's say it comes up to some of the figures of some of the coins that are in the top 20 right now, which I kind of have a hint that it might do. Let's say it comes up $50.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're talking $188,679.
Mm-hmm.
That's what my $100 investment can do with a cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. And that cryptocurrency is designed to do what? It's designed to do bank transactions.
Absolutely.
That particular one, it's like Ripple.
Yeah.
That's what Ripple was created for. Luminous is created for the same thing. But it's going to reach that 2 billion people who don't have access to a bank.
Now the thing is, too, guys, it's already there. It's in Thailand, so it's not like.
Well, that's that we talked about a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
you trust. They have a coin offering.
There. It's there. It's just like going somewhere and they finally got running water.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna be taking showers. They're gonna be doing all kinds of so
They're gonna put it in a bathroom. And then Mama's gonna want a granite countertop.
So this is gonna be. It's big. It's big again. And as I said, this is not the time
And
to
the banks
be
hate
scared.
this. Now, the banks hate this because it's their direct competition.
Absolutely.
They have had a system in place for hundreds of years. And this kind of upsets the apple cart. It really does. And banks have been good to me. Banks have been bad to me. I'm not trying to beat up the banks on this. Okay?
Right.
Well,
they helped me get my first house.
Yeah,
They helped me drive a nicer car when I didn't have the money and I was able to borrow it at a good rate and that type of thing. They also took my home away when times were bad. So, they have a tough job to do.
Sure.
And but what the big boys at the top are doing is controlling the financial environment. As much as they possibly can influence it, they're influencing it.
Well, that's another layer to this also. They really can't control the government and the laws because everything is
they hate that stuff.
Everything is tied back to money. So they can't control the votes. They can't buy out anybody because the people also have money. And they can start grouping their money together to make positive change in their own countries.
Well, let's put it this way.
That's a good point, Carl. That's a good point. That gives them power.
Yeah, it gives them power.
Are you telling me, as a person that's a poor guy that's homeless, he now has accumulated, just say $100,000, he's going to still stay up under the bridge?
Oh, no.
He's going to at least attempt to come from up out of the bridge. He's going to at least go to the hotel somewhere.
Well, when he finds out the game's not rigged.
Exactly.
Some of these people have been beat down by the system so bad, they become the homeless.
Right.
They went off to Vietnam. They lied about that. They come home. Their benefits that they said they would get wouldn't get them.
Right.
Their wife left him, was in bed with somebody else while they were gone. Their life has gone to hell in a handbasket. Okay,
Right.
They come back and they're beat up, and you see a lot of them. Now, not all it happened to all of them, but you see a lot of them that has happened to them. Well, these guys, the system is not in their favor. It's rigged. To them, it's rigged. That's why this new election that came about. People wanted a different story. That's why they voted for Donald Trump.
There you go.
They thought maybe he wouldn't be in the insider. Remember that was what it was.
Right.
People are tired of the inside game.
And here's the other thing too. This, guys, remember, this decentralizes. That's the difference. That's why. So what is it going to take to
But
do
it has
wrong?
the same trust, or actually better trust.
It
really has
bigger
better
trust.
It
verification.
has real trust.
It has real trust because there's no way you can screw with that blockchain.
Without anybody knowing.
Yeah, and if you don't know what a blockchain is, let's real quick go over that. It is taking all the computers of the world and enlisting a number of them to become miners.
Yeah.
And they verify the transactions randomly, and the randomness of it is what gives that transaction the confirmation before it lands at its destination. If you can't get that confirmation, bingo, it doesn't go through. So we don't need a bank centralized, here at the top of the pyramid, okay? Here's your server
Right.
up here serving and saying, is this transaction good or bad?
Right.
And then it goes down here.
There you go.
This goes straight across through the internet and gets the confirmations randomly, and that guy that gets it, he won't get it twice because it's already run through
So you're
once.
adding trust.
You're adding trust
You're
to it.
adding trust immediately.
And
To a transaction
and
across
protecting
the
it
world.
also.
There you go. So
Now it doesn't protect it, of course, if you put your money with an exchange that is not using good internet protocol and security, because some of them have been cracked into. But we found out recently, so did Equifax. We found out recently that Target.
Yes.
I mean, there's nothing sacred now.
Visa's been
I'm
tapped.
telling you,
Yeah.
everything's been tapped
been
into.
tapped, man.
They've got all your information. The crooks have got it. The good guys have got it. The bad guys. There's nobody.
Right.
So once you get off of that blockchain from sending it there to there, you better be doing business with people who are honorable and do what's right to protect your assets. That's why you need a wallet that's hard wallet.
Yeah, we're going to do a whole show on that.
We're going to do a whole show on a hard wallet.
But it goes back to what we said. This is not the
net.
time to be scared. This is the time to be smart.
Start looking into it and see how you can benefit from it.
So you got to make the adaptation to it. It's just like when the when the car came out. And the horse.
I thought you was going to say when the horse gets already out of the barn, it's too late.
You got to see this coming down the line. It's here. It's getting bigger. It's going to get simple.
It's simplifying.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's going to get simplified, and you're gonna benefit from it. And then you gotta come up with your own strategies and get it. You got to get involved with this. The sooner you get involved with this, the better off I think you will be.
Here's the thing: the opportunity.
Yeah.
The opportunity, you're taking half the people in the world and you're letting them in on the inside now. Mm-hmm. They got an opportunity to use, whether we like it or not, the base of gold is still.
I mean, gold is gold.
Gold and silver, precious metals, they're hard assets you can bank on.
Can't deny those.
Can't deny those. You can bank on them. But you can also keep them from the masses pretty easily. So what they did, they made one innovation, which was a fiat currency, but they based it on the gold and silver that they had in their treasury, which made it sound when they started
for a
out
moment.
For a while, till the crooks got a hold of it and started printing money like toilet paper.
There you go.
Okay, but nonetheless, you had a backing to your fiat currency, and you had hopefully a honest enough government that produced a fiat currency you could depend on. Well, that has gone by the wayside. Yeah. We don't have that anymore. Now, we've got a new kid on the block, which is these cryptocurrencies, which run on a blockchain trust that you can't compromise. You can't compromise that trust going one place, which replaces the biggest thing of why you use a bank.
Yep, you got to replace it. Don't make the mistake. Remember when they first came out with the car? You know what a lot of people did? They took their horse and hook it up to the car. You don't want to do that. Get all the knowledge. You want to drive the car.
Well, see, that's why.
You can't have two plans of thoughts.
I'm going to do a plug for. I'm going to do a plug for gold money.
Hook.
Hey, I'm going to do a plug for gold money. Okay, I ain't getting nothing for this, but gold money, you can trade your cryptocurrency for gold on a gold money account. Now, is that the coolest?
Yep.
And it's like, and you can run a Visa card,
right,
and use a cash card with the gold you have in their banks.
That's awesome, man.
Now, is that cool or what? So, and they take cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So it's a great thing.
Sure.
If you keep it in fiat, it's like putting that horse in front of the car, because that may not work out for you very well. So it's better to put it back into gold, and then I guess the convenience of the guy down the street, he's not going to take gold coins. You couldn't probably you couldn't probably get him to pay you $800 for a gold coin if you put it in his face. Most guys
he doesn't understand.
He doesn't understand.
No, you say, hey, would you like to buy this gold coin? He wouldn't know it.
A $20 coin, he'll try, and you go in there and buy $1, he's gonna give you $19 back.
Well, I know this for a fact. I have a client who buys gold, and he even loans on gold. He very reputable guy here in town. It's Tulsa Gold and Gems.
Oh,
real good.
I know those guys.
You know those guys. He will tell you that. I say, hey, is business better because gold went up to over 13? He says, the sad part about it is the man on the street doesn't even know.
No idea.
Clueless.
He doesn't know. He just knows he's got some gold. He needs to get a loan on it, or he needs to cash it in. He said that's why so many people take advantage of him. That's why we have a chart. We have a chart on the website that says what we're going to pay because we're honest.
Right.
We say what we're going to pay, and they have to have a margin for themselves, of course, too.
No, that's funny because remember,
but most of the guys will rip you off.
Sure.
Remember last year, me and you were riding down the street outside of his business. It was all of these people selling their gold.
Yeah.
Because the price of gold, I mean, they were lined up down the street getting rid of gold for cash. That's coming in the world backwards.
It is coming in. That's like being breech birthed, isn't it?
Yep. Moonwalking at it.
But so anyway, what I'm saying is that some of the stuff that we just learned from that young man that we saw that roll in. Okay, out of 196 countries, 100 of them don't have bank access.
Don't have any banking, man. Can you imagine that? Okay, and I guess a lot of times we're getting past the United States because we
think in our little bubble.
Yeah, so we're privileged. Honestly, we're
We're very privileged.
compared
Very
to
privileged.
any other country.
culture.
There's
Yeah.
no other country
We
like
can't
this.
even relate to
Yeah,
other
you
countries.
can't even relate. And what these people have to encounter, where we do transactions all the time, man. You're going to do transactions today, and you're going to easily do them. They can't do that. They've never done it.
And the
So,
conveniency of
yeah.
of doing a transaction is what makes commerce
Blossoms,
effective
man. Yeah.
and blossom. That's right.
And I mean, that's how jobs come about.
See,
That's
gold
how,
was
trade
gold
value.
itself and silver in
Yeah.
the coin form that
Yeah.
they had was cumbersome.
It was cumbersome.
It was
That's all it
cumbersome,
was.
especially for big money.
Right.
I mean, gosh, you ever
Can
felt
you buy a house in gold?
a
Can you
gold
buy
coin, the weight of a gold
Right.
coin or a block of gold? I've had the opportunity to hold a
Right.
block of gold. I mean, it's
Man,
just
yeah.
like this.
Take that on the airplane.
Yeah.
Think about this.
They wouldn't get the airplane off.
Exactly.
Yeah. Could
Matter of
you-
fact, now they're confiscated. If I was watching a video where these
Oh,
guys
you're
had
kidding.
like $4,000 in their car, and the police pulled them over, and it says, "Well, where did you get this money from?" And so they kept the money because it was suspicious. They felt that was too much money for an individual to have on his person at one time. You can go to a bank today and say, "I'd like to draw out $10,000 or $15,000 out of your checking account." The bank's gonna say,
Red
"Wait
flag,
a minute,
red
This is-
flag, red
wait a
flag.
minute.
Whoa,
Is
whoa.
everything okay?"
Is
And they can say,
everything
You're gonna
okay?
have to come back because we're
Boy, you think my wife's got
yeah,
cancer
because we
or
don't
something?
have that. We don't have that at the branch right now, just for you. You're gonna have to come back.
Yeah.
So there's already a
Disconnect there.
yeah with cash and gold. So and we know those are
It's
Those-
cumbersome.
yeah.
It's cumbersome. You can, if you make a transaction with someone in, let's say, Thailand with
Yeah, that's
Bitcoin,
a good example.
send it.
you ain't asked nobody nothing. You ain't worried about $300 because you got to send 10,000.
There you go.
You might as well go out to dinner at a nice steak place with your wife tonight because you just saved $300.
Well, they said okay to send. Now listen, to this guy to send $1,000 to Australia will cost you $300, and it's going to take up to I think 4 or 5 days before that person gets it.
Yep.
With Bitcoin,
I mean, till it clears their
before
account.
it clears,
Before
and
it
all
clears.
that. With
Now, see, people
Bitcoin-
don't believe that, though, and I'll tell you why in a second. Go ahead.
Yeah, they don't believe it, but it's true. With Bitcoin, take your phone, just like what we're talking about here, with the
Take
smartphone,
both of these phones.
Yep.
Boom.
and you send it. And they get it within 30 minutes, maybe, because of that distance.
If it's Bitcoin, if it's one of the other
Yeah.
currencies, it might go quicker.
Boom,
Ethereum,
just like
it'll
that.
go quicker.
Ethereum is like that, and they got it.
Yeah.
The problem is being resolved right there. Now, for that to occur in a place that's never happened before, man, that's a brush fire.
Yeah.
That's going to change their life. Things will be transferred all over the place because of that. And some countries, their money has no value.
Oh, well, you were just sharing that
You're just
before
talking about
the show.
in Venezuela where they don't have their money. The government just has
I wonder
confiscated
what
money
caused
and everything.
that. What caused that?
Probably fiat and
It's socialism.
yeah, socialism. Trying to say everybody is on the same plane, or you look out for him. And so what happens is now they get their electricity free over there. So that just tells you what man will do. He started innovating. He says, "Man,
He became a capitalist.
yeah." He became a capitalist. He says, "I'm going to start mining."
Yeah.
Then he started mining. He started getting paid in Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Then he went to Amazon and bought food, and then smuggled it back into Venezuela.
When you gotta eat, you gotta eat.
You got to do it.
folks.
So
you gotta
that
do
just
it.
tell you what people will do. You can't stop innovation in people. They will find somewhere, just like China tried to stop Bitcoin in China. It's not going to stop. It's not going to happen.
You know, we
You
talk about,
can't beat Bitcoin.
You
We
can't
talked
stop
about
it.
that. You can't
you know
stop
what,
it.
we talk about how quick it is to
Yeah.
transfer the money. Here's another layer. A lot of these people, when money is transferred, they have to go into the city. It might take them 3 hours
Oh,
to
there's
leave.
another
where
By
they-
camel. I mean, not camel.
Camel
but they're walking
or
or
bikes,
horse, whatever
whatever.
it is. Yeah, bike.
So
Or
in other
bring their
words,
big cart with their
Yeah.
goods and all that. Yeah.
but then again, they have to get to go to the money. So that's another layer.
They may have to go 10 miles,
And
15
you know what
miles, 20
happened?
miles.
You know what happened in
Yep.
India? They just reissued 2 of their most commonly used
Denominations.
denominations.
Yep.
And
Oh, yeah,
bingo,
the
they
1
had to
and the
cash
5.
it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They
Now
had to
let's
cash
think
it.
about that, guys. I would say, what is the most popular denomination in America?
You mean
as far as dollars, $5, $10.
I know what my favorite is.
$100 bill. Now let's think about what India did. What if the United States government says the $100 is officially no good in the next 4 hours, and you got a ton of them?
All right.
What would you do?
I got a prop. I actually got 100 on me today.
Right. You see, now you got 4 hours to get rid of that, because after within the next 4 hours, it has no value.
It has no value.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do?
You got to trade up or down.
You got to think about that.
But you only
Half
got 4
the time's
hours.
going to be spent thinking
you got
about
4 hours to do it. Let's say you're at work. You can't get out.
I'm buying some Bitcoin.
There you go.
But see,
time for all that.
Well, that's just what happened that's what happened. What I'm talking about just happened in India. The government changed
and what has
the
happened with
denomination.
Bitcoin in India? It just
It's
went
going
through the roof.
Yep.
It went through the roof.
Because people are looking for a safe haven. They say, okay, just like, do you think the United States government did this in 1895? They said, we want everybody's gold.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do you think everybody gave up all? And they said
A lot of people did.
a lot of people did. In some countries, if you don't give up the gold,
you're
going
to jail.
You're going down. And so all those little things come into place when you start looking at. This is another way that people can transfer value, and they're going to do it. Now, everybody may do it, may not do it, but some people are going to do this, and it can't be stopped.
Well, you know, this was a good topic today.
Yeah.
I want to show one of the articles, or this micro money, the young man we had earlier. The Micro Money Decentralized Credit Bureau. There's a website here to go to. This is an article, I believe, and it talks about this particular same micro money that the young man was talking about for the people in third world countries.
The $2 billion.
Yeah, the $2 billion that are going to get involved with commerce using a currency that's easy to operate. So there's a coin attached to this, and I just saw this article come up. I went and looked up the video, and we showed it, and there's more to learn about this particular ICO coming. That's an initial coin offering, and they've had a couple of them already. The problem I find with getting involved in the ICOs is I can't, because our country hasn't qualified those ICOs yet. We're getting legislation in from the Security and Exchange Commission that is going to be able to allow us to offer them here in the country, but so many of these are outside the country and they're not approved, because I'll go and try to get into an ICO, an initial coin offering, and they'll say, sorry, not available in the United States.
Because we regulate, we're more highly regulated.
Yeah, and we've accepted it quicker, I think.
We're
than
more
some
controlled.
Yeah, we've accepted. Well, and it makes sense, and we talked about this too. It makes sense for an ICO.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like a security.
Right.
Because they're wanting to make sure that it fits
don't
under some
jump
kind
out.
of rules.
Right.
You don't
Disappear into.
with the money.
Yeah,
you have to have
disappear.
some kind of support and a bricks and mortar building, and you got to be registered, and they got to know who you are, and then you can
You gotta have some value.
You got to have some value
have
as
some
a
value.
business to be able to offer that.
Exactly.
So you don't just sit it out there. People invest in it and they
And then you
fly
don't.
the coop.
Disappear.
Yeah. So that's good. And so the ICO, they can't touch the cryptocurrency that's behind it.
Right.
They can't control that.
Right.
But the ICO function makes sense to me. I like them to control that.
Sure it is.
So this is another ICO that's coming up for this, what's it called, micro money.
Micro money.
That's going to be for this 2 billion people out there. And I want to get involved in it, but I just don't know how to do it. I'm thinking I got a friend in India who I should
Give him a holler.
get on
See what
the
he's gonna say.
phone with him, educate him on this stuff, and then partner with him to get involved in some of these ICOs, because people are making buku money who are doing it. And I don't know how many of it, and I got to start looking and researching, and we all should research what companies in the States are going through the process of the SEC and getting the
ICOs.
approval to offer these coins. And then we have to look at it just like you do a stock. Do they really have something that's going to go? Do they have something that's going to win?
Well,
Or is it going to be like the 1,000 cryptocurrencies out there that are worth nothing?
well, we and it's going to be two scenarios, guys. You're going to have some that are going to go all the way up to the top and pop. then you're gonna have something come to the bottom and pop. So that's the other aspect.
It happens the same way with the stock market.
Same thing.
Yeah, penny stocks, whatever you get.
We have to realize, look, this is not strange, completely strange. There are similarities here. The whole concept. This is called an exchange, just like the stock exchange. This is the cryptocurrency exchange.
Yeah.
So it's going to have some of the same volatilities in it that you will find.
And you still have to do your due diligence.
This is not the time to be scared. This is the time to be smart. And you're going to have to, only the smart going to take advantage of this.
That's right.
Those who do not know will watch this pass them by.
And they'll miss it.
And they'll miss it and say, man, I could have been you could have changed your lifestyle of your family. This can be inheritance to your grandkids and all that kind of stuff. Those are other options that are here that if you see it, you can move on it. If you don't see it, you won't move on it, and you're going to push back on it, and it's going to pass you by. It's going to pass you by.
We have a guest with us today. I'm going to introduce Joe. Joe Cristiano, a good friend of mine. He's got a show that's about economics. He's old school. I'm not trying to put him down. He's old school. He's not 100% onto this cryptocurrency. He believes in, why don't we scoot down this way and introduce Joe. He's got a show called, no, just bring him on down the other end.
Come on,
Joe,
down.
come on in here, Joe. Come on in here.
Put me in the Shark Tank.
Come on.
That's right.
A little bit
You're in the
further.
tank. You're in the tank.
Joe
You're in the Shark
has
Tank.
he's got a show called, he's got his shirt. He's out promoting it. Liberty Talk Radio's on his shirt here. And he's got a YouTube channel as well. And he talks with some of the greats, in this industry of finance. And he's got economists on there. I'm surprised at all the great guys you have on your show, Joe. You've been blessed, man. That is awesome.
Yeah, I've
Come on in here a little closer. We're real tight. We're real tight.
Okay.
All the way to bump to bump here. All right. Now we can all four fit on this screen.
All right. There you go, Joe.
Well, go ahead, Joe. You just speak loud. You don't have a problem with that, do you?
well,
Tell us a little bit about your show and some of the people that have been on it.
well, I've had Professor Kotlikov as a regular, and he's the University of Boston. He has been selected by the World Economics Community in the top 25 economists in the world.
Wow.
He and I had about almost a 45-minute program about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it was one big argument. We disagreed on every subject. And I'm not an economist, I'm a closet economist. And I was surprised.
Well,
that
you
I
used to work for a big oil company looking at their
I
stuff.
was surprised because I usually agree with him, but for some reason he went off on a tangent and we argued. And at the end of the show, he says, "I need to speak with you." And I said, he'll never come back to this show again. Although he always asked to come back. And I said, "Well, thank you for being on the program." I fully expected him to respond saying, "Well, take me off your call list." And he said, I have a favor of you. I said, "Surely, what is it?" He said, I intend to run for president in the next presidential election. Would you be my campaign manager? So I must have hit a chord.
Yeah.
It surprised the heck out of me.
Well, it's good. Iron sharpens iron, as the good book says.
Yeah,
And you've got
yeah.
to have some point, counterpoint.
Right.
That's why I asked you
That's
to come
why
in
you're
here.
here.
Well, I really enjoy conversations regarding money because I'm like Mr. Wonderful on Shark Tank.
Got you.
I love money. but we're not talking money. Where Kevin goes wrong on Shark Tank is that he's talking about currency. He's
Gotcha.
not talking about money.
Gotcha.
Now he has probably $200 million in real currency,
Gotcha.
in real money.
Gotcha.
I'm guessing he has because what he says. But what we're talking about here is currency. I totally agree that the currency system in all countries has been mutilated to the point where it's at the disadvantage of the citizens.
Yeah.
And it's only the advantage of the central banks.
Yeah.
And you're fighting the central banks. You're not fighting the countries, you're fighting the central banks that really control what happens in each country. It happens in the European Union as well as the United States and partially in China and Russia. So the cryptocurrencies, I hope, do take off. And they become established because, as you say, people in third world countries who literally live in huts, who had no opportunity at all, and maybe 30 miles away there may have been a bank. Maybe. If they can get into the bank, you know.
Well, they don't have shoes; they won't let them in.
That's right. Now, if they have an iPad or something like that,
Smartphone.
They all have smartphones.
Yeah,
they all do. It's amazing.
They can transact the same way that General Motors transacts.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's a leap forward. Right now, that does scare the centralized.
Sure does.
The banks.
And as a result, there's going to be some
Disruption.
right. Where I think when we talk about, because being a commodities guy, you can't be you have to be a pragmatist. You can't say, "Oh, this looks good. I'm going to invest in it."
Right.
Best way to, I mean, just
Lose a lot of money.
throw your money out to the street.
Just throw it out.
Just close your eyes.
You have to take all your enthusiasm and put it away. You have to look at it from a very practical point of view, not only from an economic point of view, from a mining point of view, from a distribution point of view, from a competitive point of view, all these items. And it's very difficult. You can't trade commodities like you do. I mean, unless you're a commodities trader.
Gotcha.
But I mean, if you're investing in commodities, it's long term. Short term is 8 years. You know, most people won't sit around for 8 years
Never.
waiting for something to happen. But that's the commodities business. Now, here's where I have, I think, some definitions.
A rub.
What's that?
A rub.
Well, I mean, there's some definitions. We say it's a cryptocurrency. Now, that's not a very good term. It's not a very positive term, because if you look at the well over, I don't know how many thousands of currencies that have been in the world since Egyptian times forward, how many of those have survived?
Zero.
Zero, right. So we have, now if I told you everyone who walked through that door came out dead, right? Everyone, you know, would you walk through that door?
No.
You say, well, no, let me think
I'll
about
stay
this.
right
Way.
here.
So why do we still
Let me go for coffee. I'll be right back.
Why do we still do it? Yeah.
Why do we still do it? That's a good
Right.
question.
So what we're saying is that we are categorizing, in a way, a crypto monetary system as a currency, which it is, right? But historically, and again, being commodity investors, you have to think historically. Historically, if there have been 3,000 or 4,000 currencies, all of which have gone to reverted to their intrinsic value of zero, right? Then, by definition, I have to say cryptocurrencies will in fact meet their eventual demise and reach their intrinsic value of zero. So you have to be a pragmatist. Now, I do have a few cryptocurrencies. I play with it mostly because everyone bugs me about it, so I keep them quiet. So that's the first problem. It's a matter of definition. The big obstacle with cryptocurrencies is that there are so many of them.
Right.
I love things of intrinsic value. I had one of the, I think, in my opinion, the brightest mind in the entire world when it comes to mining, and that's Rick Rule, and he's out of Vancouver, and he is a commodities investor. I mean, probably one of the most famous in the world. He's in partnership with Eric Sprott, one of the richest men in the world. It's amazing people. And I learned so much from them. And he always talks about scarcity in the mining industry and demand, right? So you have to look at cryptocurrencies in the same way. At least I do, because I'm a currency guy. I'm a commodities guy. I look at cryptocurrencies as far as supply and demand. There's an unlimited supply, right? There is relatively small demand.
Well,
right?
when you put all the cryptocurrencies in one bucket and think of it like that, yes. But each cryptocurrency has a limited supply. It's like the Ripple that the banks are using, it's got billions of it.
Yeah.
They love it. It's got billions of it.
It's not limited.
And they haven't even released all of it that they created within that coin, because they want to be able to do like they do with money, print more.
Yeah.
Because the banks, that's their psychology.
No, I
but with
understand that.
Bitcoin, but with
Compared to
Bitcoin, that's why it's at 61.66 today, because it only has 22 million coins that can ever be mined. It does have a scarcity. And the guy that created it, Satoshi Nakamoto. I never can say that. I would not have been a good Japanese person. I can't speak the language. But Satoshi Nakamoto, when he created the Bitcoin, he put that scarcity in it, and he put the concepts I think you're talking about in there.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that's why, and it can't be touched by the government.
No,
That's one of the beauties of Bitcoin.
Right. But saying that, it's like saying I mined gold from Algeria, right?
Yeah.
And there's only a limited supply, but there's also gold, in the upper portions of Russia, of which there's a large supply. So gold is worth more. No, gold is gold is gold. Cryptocurrencies are cryptocurrencies are cryptocurrencies. Now they're all algorithms in which they are applied as a different particular application.
Blockchain,
And I understand that. But my only point being is that before we get too euphoric, understand that there's never been a currency. And
That has survived.
Yeah, it survived. And the difference between a currency and money is a money has intrinsic value, right?
Yeah.
Cryptocurrencies have zero intrinsic value. It's a computer program. I mean, let's face it, guys. It's a computer. It's a smart computer program. I couldn't write it. I don't understand it, but it's a computer program.
But one of the things that it does, now there is worth in an intrinsic value that's different than gold and a hard asset. And the intrinsic value of Bitcoin, especially, and a handful of other coins, is the actual work it does. It's the value of what it allows you to do. For example, every one of the I'm going to pop up just to show people the thousands of coins there are out there. Okay, this is that again coin market cap that we talk about. And just to your comment, Joe, look at it. I'm scrolling down. Look at the numbers over here. 700. To your point, I'm showing this.
It's 11,
okay,
1,100.
let's see how many cryptocurrencies are out there, and 99% of them are garbage. There's 1,100 and some.
Yeah.
Well, when we say they're garbage, are we saying that these cannot be exchanged for
Nobody
goods and
wants
services?
them. Nobody wants them.
I know that no one wants them, but do they perform the same way as a Bitcoin, and do they provide the same type of service as a Bitcoin?
Yes
Different
and no.
services.
It's got a different. Most of these cryptocurrencies have a different blockchain.
Yeah,
Okay,
right.
they're the same concept of a blockchain, but they're arranged a little differently to support whatever they're trying to do. Like, for example, there's some companies that have like this website that has products you can buy that are kind of like, Amazon. And what they did is say, oh, we'll make a cryptocurrency that people can use to buy our stuff online. Isn't that a grand idea? And the better thing about it is we can get a bunch of yahoos to buy our ICO, and we can get some money in, and then we can advertise our website, and then we can get a whole bunch of people to buy our stuff on our website, and it's bull. They ain't going to do that. They think they're going to do that, and they come up with a cryptocurrency to do that, and they get their own money to use on their website, but it's a sham. It's a big concept in their mind that is not going to be adopted.
Right.
Okay, so when we talk Bitcoin, I think we're talking about a different animal. We're talking about an animal that was created just for the transfer of value.
Yeah.
And it was, so its intrinsic value is in the ease of use. It's trust that you can send it and nobody manipulates it. Those are intrinsic values. It becomes a valuable commodity because of the work it does and the security and trust it has within it. That's why Bitcoin is at 61. And the rest of these boys, the next one down runs.
Ethereum is probably around 300.
Yeah, it's about 3. It's 290.
Yeah, 61. Ethereum's 294.
Yeah.
It's come down. You notice all of these cryptocurrencies are dropping today, and they do this every week. But Monero's up by 3%. You've got Ethereum Classics up by 1.7%. You got them all doing different things, but there's a hard fork coming up. There's somebody wanting to manipulate Bitcoin and take it out of its purity, and they copy the open ledger, which is a open source, and then they create a new coin with it. And with that new coin, they think they're going to, but nobody adopts it. Here's the first hard court they did, and it's 322 Bitcoin Cash. It went up to 700 or 800, then it went down to 200, and it's laying around at 300, and it's not really a duplicate of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at 6,100 for a reason. It's people have adopted it. It's an adopted coin. It was the first out. It was built with not anything in mind to screw you over, to buy my coin, so I could sell you my products on the thing. Most of those coins out here on this particular deal are coins that are created to sell my product, and they're garbage.
Right.
Bitcoin is different. It's set apart from it.
Well, here's my problem. Would you bet your life, and the life of your children and your wife and everyone that you love, that Bitcoin will not go down in value?
No.
You wouldn't do that, right?
No, wouldn't do that.
Could it possibly go down to zero? Is it possible?
Sure, it's I mean, just based
Can you
on
handle this while
just based on that scenario, yeah, it could go to zero.
We've got a busy show.
It started at zero,
Yeah,
it started at zero.
Now, if you ask me whether or not platinum could go down to zero,
Oh no,
I said no, it can't.
no, it won't.
Right, because platinum is 20 to 30 times, depending on which study you look at, 20 to 30 times more rare than gold. It's needed in applications for industry.
Right.
It's a precious metal. It's used in jewelry. It's
Silver,
in space exploration and whatever. So, I mean, it may go down in price,
But it'll never go to zero. It'll never
couldn't go to zero. I would bet my life and my
Right,
family on it,
right.
because it's not going to zero.
Right.
Because it costs $800-900, $1,000 an ounce just to mine.
Okay.
And what happens when a precious metal, gold, silver, they're all the same. The principle's the same. When in fact there's no more supply, right? What happens is and the price goes down. Let's say the price of platinum goes down to $500 an ounce.
Gotcha.
Right? Never has, but let's assume it does. Right? What happens to the mines? They close. Right. What happens when the mines close? What happens to the supply of platinum?
It's going to shoot up if the
yeah.
mines close.
And then if you're in a business and you need platinum, the guy says, don't have any. You look around for it. And if for some reason I stored platinum, or
Right.
I'll make him the good guy, right? He stored platinum, because
Right.
he saw this, coming, and you went to him, you say, I need some platinum. How much do you think he'll charge you for the platinum?
Oh, I'm gonna charge you.
market
I'm gonna
can
charge you. Yeah.
You'll get a nosebleed.
I'm gonna put the
You
hammer
will have
down
a
on it. Yeah.
nosebleed.
Okay.
Excuse me, now we'll
Sure.
get a cup of coffee.
You will
I'll
have
be
another
right
thing.
back with
So
you.
I'm just saying
right.
that it has intrinsic value, and it has a self-monitoring internal device that says this will always have some value. We don't know what that value would be. The value of platinum, for example, let me give you a good example. On one of my shows recently, Rick was talking about the efficacy of being in the uranium business.
Okay.
The Fukushima, the nuclear power plant in Japan. What's the name of it? What's the name of it?
I don't know the name.
Well,
offhand.
anyway, I pronounce it incorrectly all the time. So, well, they shut that down. Japan decided to shut most of its nuclear, plants down, and so do many countries do. They started easing back on nuclear energy. Price of uranium went down. They had large above ground stock. Right, the price went from $60 a unit to $20, and they're selling it at a loss now just to get rid of it. Right, but now these nuclear power plants are starting to come
back online.
and there's no supply.
Gotcha.
What's going to happen to the price of
It's
uranium.
gonna skyrocket.
Right? So what do I do as a commodity investor, right? I sell my wife, my children, my house, and I buy uranium.
Right.
You know, and that's exactly what I did the other day. I bought a load of uranium. Now, when will that happen? Maybe 2-3 years from now.
But it's gonna
have to
happen.
wait. I
Yeah.
may get sick and tired of looking at it sitting around.
Right.
But I know where it's going because it has intrinsic value.
Well, you bring up a good point because that's the same thing that's going on with Bitcoin and fiat currency. This is
But
basically.
you have non-intrinsic value with non-intrinsic value. I'm talking intrinsic value versus non-intrinsic.
all right,
No,
but-
and the intrinsic value is based on one thing: trust.
No.
That's it. Because
Well,
okay,
let's talk about what is the
Well, what about-
now gold? What makes gold? Why is gold valuable? Can you give us a definition? Of
Sure.
that?
Well, gold is valuable because it's needed in certain applications and it has no substitute, or the substitutes are more expensive.
Okay.
And without it, we do without.
Okay.
And industry's not going to
Okay.
do it. They're willing to pay
All right,
for
gold.
it.
Willing to pay for it for an industrial use. How about for just the use of backing the currencies of the world?
Oh yeah, well that's why the currencies of the world until in August of 1971, the U.S. dollar was backed by gold.
Yeah.
Until
Nixon
Nixon said
took it off.
these famous words: "I have directed the secretary,
We want more."
you know, kindly to remove the." I knew the exact wording, you know. To remove the backing of currency by gold, you know, to protect it from the speculators. Talking
Speculators.
about the big lie.
Right.
Talking about the big
now,
lie.
let me
you
share
know.
this with you.
Yes.
That's
It's
what
not to
they're
be
saying
honest.
about Bitcoin. They're protecting us from the speculators. Now, that's exactly the words that came out of Jamie Dimon's mouth. Now, here, just in the way, now one thing I've neglected before I went and got my coffee, I neglected to share with you about the intrinsic value and the value of what makes Bitcoin, okay, the main coin in cryptocurrency, which makes it valuable is when you go to all the exchanges and you deal in other currencies, where do they base their value from? They show you the BTC value of that Bitcoin. See, it's all about the BTC, the Bitcoin. And it's like the gold of the cryptocurrencies. Everything, they don't show it in dollars. Now you can, if you're in other countries and you want to look at it in yen, or you want to look at it in the euro, or you want to look at it here in dollars, you can get that too. But when you trade, you always trade in what? Bitcoin.
Coin.
You trade the value of of Bitcoin to get your XYZ cryptocurrency changed into XYZ cryptocurrency. So it is the gold, and it is what is backing all of the cryptocurrencies that are out there. They're called cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is the gold.
you know what I see.
That's my argument. Okay.
But
let me make this one point.
Make this point.
But
Let me say
okay,
this one
sorry.
point. I think the problem we're running into, there are two different systems: cryptocurrencies and the current monetary.
monetary system. Yeah.
They're totally different. The same rules that applied over here do not apply over here.
No, I agree. No,
You know,
I agree. Given a
But
gonna
choice,
there are
do-
similarities.
They're similar, but it's
given a
gonna
choice
do- we
between
can't do
U.S.
it.
dollars and cryptocurrencies, I'd rather have cryptocurrencies. I'm on the same page with you.
I would
there.
like to have the best ones.
Yeah,
But
but
you're-
my point being is that if I asked you, tell me what's the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum or whatever, you know.
It's not
you know,
touched by human
or
hands.
Pamela Anderson coin or whatever
Yeah,
the case
right,
may be,
right.
you know. What is the difference? Quite frankly, none of us in this room, and I don't mean to disparage anyone, could really explain it.
No.
I mean,
I hate to be the one to say I could.
no, someone read something about it, but they really
Yeah.
don't know.
I don't
the only
know
person
the
who
ins and outs,
knows
right.
may be the person who actually wrote the computer program.
And that is
You know,
Tasha.
this guy here.
Right.
Satoshi Nakamoto.
my point being is that when you have an unlimited supply of anything, and in cryptocurrencies you have literally an unlimited
If you
supply.
put them all
If
in
you
the
put
same
them all
bowl,
in the thing.
same
But
bucket.
the Bitcoin.
I know they're not the same, but
The
they're all
Bitcoin
the
has a
same
limited-
in our imagination, not in reality.
Well, in reality, they all have to have a infinite amount. You can't have an uninfinite amount of a cryptocurrency. Okay.
Oh yeah, but I mean, you have an
unlimited amount that can be created.
That can be created, or numbers that can be designed.
To be designed.
Could
Yes,
be
you
Joe
can.
coin.
Exactly.
The one that I'm going to develop is going to be Joe coin. It'll be the best one.
The Joe coin, yeah. It'll have a picture of you.
You can
on
give
it.
me your $10,000 now. I'll give you a special break.
So, but the thing about it is, each one of them does have a defined infinite amount, and the reason that Bitcoin is at 6,100, in my opinion, is the proof that nobody is buying into all the other coins unless they have a real good value of what they will do for people.
It's perceived.
It's a perceived value. It's a perceived value.
And
whereas
historically we've seen
Bitcoin itself, now I'm a big believer in Bitcoin. I am a big believer in Bitcoin. But I understand that there's going to be money to be made in the other cryptocurrencies like that Stellar Luminous I'm looking into, because it's going to be used as a fiat cryptocurrency to run commerce in the third world, just like Ripple's trying to take over the world too, with the current bankers. And you can make money in the speculations of that, but I can guarantee you Bitcoin will be here. I don't think it's going to go to nothing, and it won't bubble.
What is the dollar value of a Bitcoin? Where do you see it going?
It's what you will give me for one.
Yeah.
It's been speculated. I know.
I get that.
It's highly
but gold is the
speculated.
same way.
No, it's not.
It's 1,300 right now, but last week
but
it's only 12.
If you ask me, what's the lowest that gold can go? I can say probably $800 an ounce.
Probably, but you can't guarantee it.
Oh, I can guarantee it because the day it goes to $800 an ounce, every mine closes. Everyone's going to look for gold. Gold is going to shoot to the moon
because of the
so
cost.
I can say that with some level of assurance, and I can document that.
And I think you can almost say the same thing about Bitcoin.
Bitcoin can go to its intrinsic value of zero.
No, it can't.
Why not?
It can't. Because all the cryptocurrencies and all of the technologies and all of those things are based upon Bitcoin.
But here's my problem.
In the value
the
of what
technology that allowed
I told
Bitcoin,
you Joe was old school.
I like it.
The technology that allowed Krypton to its life, basically, can also be its own destruction because they can come out with a technology that says you don't need Bitcoin anymore. You can buy a Joe coin directly, and I'll give you.
No, they're all doing
price.
that, but
that's happening right now.
That's happening right now. Of course it is. But
so the world is changing, and my point is that the world is changing in a direction that we have never experienced. We don't understand. And I don't put my money in anything I do not understand.
Well,
I have to ask you, what's the value of of a Bitcoin?
Of a Bitcoin?
Yeah.
It's probably going to go to about $50,000.
But you don't know that. You want to bet me money on that?
Well, the people are smarter than I.
I'll bet you $100,000 it doesn't.
Well,
would you take the bet?
You know what? People would have bet back in 2010 when it was 10
agree
cents.
With you. I agree.
When it was 10 cents, that it would never go to $1,000. I could have made my money making that bet with you. I guarantee you, I would have made my $10,000 from you if I would have bet you on
100,000. I don't bet 10,000.
Okay, 100,000. So 100,000. 50,000 is what they're throwing around out there. The people who are really smart and that understand market caps like I don't understand, and understand the cryptocurrency industry, and they understand the financial industry, and they know the wildfire that's going on. They're saying 50,000. I have a hard time believing that. Okay, and that's why I wouldn't bet you.
Well, it's hard.
But you know what? When I started on this, Joe, in April of this year,
it was $1,200.
Between $1,000 and $1,200. Mm-hmm. Okay, we were thinking maybe by the end of the year, just maybe, in all of our optimism, okay, that it would be maybe $2,000. Maybe we'd get a hold of a Bitcoin and it would double to $2,000.
We were just looking at double.
But Bitcoin's got everybody scratching their head.
It's got everybody. It's an anomaly.
It's a new paradigm.
All the market is freaking out over Bitcoin because it has never happened before. The stock market is saying, what is going on? And he says, people are leaving the market.
They are. And it's making the market go up, I guarantee you.
But remember all the time, Bitcoin and blockchain is a disruptor.
It's a
And
disruptive
the first
technology.
the first thing they said it would disrupt will be finances, and that's what it's doing. It's making everybody hold their belief.
Oh my gosh,
it's making
our
people,
time is running out.
Yeah.
4, 3, 2. It's going to be an hour. We're going to be on here. Joe, you'll have to
better wrap
come
it.
back and be
You gotta
on our
come
show.
back, Joe. That's some
Now,
good stuff.
Joe's got some good stuff. Joe's, like I told you, he's old school and he knows his stuff. I
like it.
respect you, even though I disagree with you, Joe, because this guy used to help his oil company decide which companies to buy up and not.
Gotcha.
He's
So
not a light
he's got his-
featherweight. He plays it down a little bit, but he knows his stuff.
Good.
And we would love to have you
Love it.
back again, Joe. And we would love you to be a regular contributor.
Come on.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a regular contributor on the show because we are really
We need
looking
to
for
hear-
the truth.
Yeah.
It'll cost
And we
you
need
2
balance,
Bitcoins
just
to
like
have-
you
get
said
me
here.
back.
Huh?
It'll cost
Two
you
Bitcoins.
It'll cost you Bitcoin. Well, what, a 2010 value, I'll do it.
Yeah.
When it was 10 cents. So anyway, folks, we're going to wrap up this one, and we'll have it posted, and we'll have some links in there. I'll give you a link to Joe's show. You should
Oh, yeah.
tune in to
Yeah.
Liberty Talk Radio. And until next week, and we'll make sure you subscribe to the channel, that you
Big
make
things
comments. The subscribe button down there, and there's a little bell. You click that, and it'll actually give you an alarm when we're on. So you want to do that as well. So you want to subscribe. I even made a little graphic that says subscribe. Look at that. Okay? So anyway, we look for you next time. See you guys.
Good.
Peace.
Bye. See ya.
All right.